Hello, everyone. Welcome, Wayward Gamers, to the Emporium. I am Jay, also known as Neopet3 on most of the socials. Welcome to this wonderful guest star spin-off episode, one shot, so to speak. Unfortunately, as you can see, currently there are two empty spots right now. We've had some technical difficulties that life has come into play, and two of our players are unable to join us for tonight, or at least one of them cannot join us for tonight. One is running late, and we are, as I'm being informed, that I just do not know how to put people in the right locations. So we are going to change some stuff around and make sure that life is good before we jump into everything else. But anyways, before we're still gonna play. We've got some stuff coming on the down the pipeline, so to speak, and we'll take it away. But before we jump into why we're doing this and what exactly is happening, we're going to introduce the players that we have. And before we jump in, and so Joshua, how are you doing? Thank you for being here. Welcome. It has been a while. Our wonderful guest stars. Who are you playing and how are you doing?
I am doing great. Always happy to be here amongst friends playing D&D. And I am playing Talico Windpath, who is our resident elven bounty hunter who's always trying to help find people who are lost.
Yep. And for those that don't know, Calico and Robo will get actually we'll finish after Robo and kind of explain the history of why we're doing this. So thank you, Joshua, for being here. And our other wonderful guest player that we've had here at the Natural Ones, Robo Goblin. How are you doing and who are you playing?
And me, Robo Goblin, and I'm doing pretty good. It's all right. So it's been a hectic, but I'm here and I'm ready to play some. Is it Pathfinder?
Yes.
Is it D&D?
Pathfinder.
Is it?
We're in the Pathfinder.
It's Pathfinder.
We're in a Pathfinder. We switched to Pathfinder. So
yeah, so that's how I died. Well,
no.
How Goblin died, and now he's in Pathfinder now. Anyway,
yes.
I'm so happy to be here again and be with amongst you all.
Thank you, Robo. For those that don't know, we run normally the Legends of the Natural Ones. We originally D&D, and then we moved to Pathfinder 2E and became the Legends of the Natural Ones. And in that process, we had some guest stars come up, and Robo and Joshua were our first guest stars to help us with season 2 before, and we're currently in season 4. So we did some timey-wimey stuff and set up some interesting storylines. And it wasn't just a one-shot like guest appearance, it was an ongoing guest appearance. So I think this is the third or fourth time you've guest starred in an episode, so to speak. Because we brought you back, you had a season 2, then we brought you back for a short period of a one shot or two shot, so to speak, in the future, at which Joshua met up with the Natural Ones again at a party, and they learned that he wasn't dead.
Yay!
And then we ran into, I believe it was Saltmarsh, or and you came into Saltmarsh and helped rescue Pepper from the bad guys. So you all grouped together, and that was when we had 7 players in one virtual table to save Pepper. And you came together again. You freed her, and then your group went to, as we call it, Schmaltmarsh instead of Saltmarsh, Schmaltmarsh, and that's where we're picking up. It's been a little while. It's been a month or two as the group is kind of living in Saltmarsh, Schmaltmarsh for a little bit, doing some stuff, doing some work, things of that nature. And we're bringing the guest stars together for their own little spin-off miniseries that has a direct connection to the natural ones. And we hope to, in the future, have another large gathering of everyone together. So that's our goal for tonight, is playing a little fun game and bringing everyone together and having some fun. So with that being said, we pick up in Schmaltmarsh, Saltmarsh, as well as our friends. So Pepper, unfortunately, our wonderful friend Aviro will not be here, but we will be playing Pepper. Timon, which is played by our wonderful friend Bill, hopefully will be joining us shortly. So we're going to be waiting for him to see if he can join us. If not, then like I said, he'll be popping in and out as a background character. But Goblin and Talico, you get a message from kind of a somewhat friend, somewhat known. You've heard stories and you've had some dealings with them. Lido, our Lando of the Pathfinder world. Lando is a scoundrel of information and broker of jobs. He looks for people to do jobs for him. And well, this particular time, he contacts both of you and asks you to meet him late morning above a flower shop in the heart of the city of Saltmarsh or Schmaltmarsh, not the town, not the village, but the city, because this is like 150 years in the future. It was where we're at right now, and you both are having breakfast together at the local inn. Describe your characters for the audience, since it's been a little while, as you're sitting at the local tavern in the inn having some breakfast. Who would like to go first?
So, Talico. So Talico is a kind of a very, I'll say, lithe elf that feels a little redundant sometimes, but who wears a who's very has tan complexion, always wears a hat very much like this one, but with kind of a rainbow hat band around it. So a nice wide brimmed hat. He wears a purple and either really dark brown or black type doublet
Mhm.
with riding boots and just kind of a loose pants. He also, as a druid, does have a kind of a pin that represents his station in the third circle or whatever circle he's in now, of the local druid circle, and is sent out on diplomatic missions for parties and things like that. Um, but he also has his ever present staff is leaning against the table that has an owl perched has the figurine of an owl perched on top of it.
Mhm.
Um, and he's has a nice size plate, like larger, and unlike a lot of other elves that like to eat just vegetation, he is an omnivore. He has some fresh bacon as well as some, breakfast salad.
Mhm. Okay. What what does Goblin look like?
Goblin is an automaton, and he's all silver and gray all over. He's around 6'3", 6'5", or he's really tall, and he's very not muscular because there's no muscles in automatons that I think. And he looks like he's very bulky, like
Mhm.
very big. And he has like a tiny little edge here that kind of makes it smile. And his eyes are bright teal and they usually just glow. And that's it.
Yes. And as you're sitting down, you you do get a message from Pepper saying that she will meet you at the meeting above the flower, and it should take about 15 minutes from where you're at. So, and you've got about an hour or so to be able to get there. So there's nothing you're not impressed, you're not pressed for time or anything like that. And as you are just kind of relaxing, the inn that you're at is relatively busy. It's, a city, so it's bustling and stuff like that. Any conversations you're having between the two of you?
I'm just looking at Teleco and are you eating breakfast right now?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. I'm just looking at you and like seeing your emotions as you eat your food, and I am coloring something on my notepad.
And at this point, we've kind of spent enough time together.
Oh yeah.
Anything that I consider like new, like, oh, this fruit, it tastes like, and like Talico will explain, texture and flavor as best he can. And almost that level of sort of like putting on, like, if he really enjoys something, he really makes sure that it's a little bit more expressive than normally whenever he's kind of like hyper focused on a job or on doing something. He tries to be more expressive and is trying to learn to like communicate to and show that to the goblin.
Okay.
Oh, that's so nice.
And it's like I said, you're eating, you're relaxing. The waitress comes up. You're an older lady, probably in her 40s, a little graying, blonde hair, pulled back in a beret outfit comes up. Anything else I should get you for your dears?
Are you good? Is there anything you want to try or just have? I know
Uh-huh.
we need to be we should probably leave soon and meet up with friends, but
I am good, actually. Thank you.
Excellent,
yeah.
excellent. Um, well, have a lovely day. And she kind of skirts off to bring joy to other people within the tavern. And yeah, and so you get ready, you're relaxed,
Yeah.
and over
I,
time, like I said, you get your breakfast done, and then
mhm.
yeah, you just
As we're getting up to head out, I make sure that I throw proper coin on the table, pay for breakfast. Is there like a wanted board or a or missing board, anything of that degree inside of here? Or because this is such a large city, is it like a posted board?
they're generally at the Adventures Guild. There
Okay.
is posted boards for jobs and stuff like that.
Yep. Talago's always just trying to, whenever he goes by those things, he's just looking for missing person reports and
Mhm.
stuff like that.
N-
But okay. Well, should
Nothing
we
has popped up lately, but that you're aware of that's been posted or anything like that recently. Yeah, and
right.
as you start walking through the city, it's like I said, it's morning. People are bustling. It's a little bit rainy. It's not too bad. It's got cloudy skies up. It's kind of the season. There was a lot of rain last night, so things are still a little wet. But as you're kind of making your way around town, people are kind of moving in, merchants are coming in, a lot of business is kind of happening, and you kind of get into a business district. And as you're going through it, there's a few different shops that are here. You've got a spice shop, you clothing shops, uh, your kind of not necessarily a general store, but some specialty items of various kinds and things of that nature. And then in the middle, there is this flower shop, which has a small little shop. There's a door with a small little window and some nice plants and flowers. And yeah, it's got a nice green door and some, little flowery circle around the door with different things and some bees and stuff like that that are seem to be, smelling and kind of leaving and stuff like that. There's some planters out in front of the window. And as you're heading in, the doors open and you hear that as if when you want to go in, you hear the little chime of a bell going ding, and you see a woman just in her late 20s, brownish hair, short, and she's wearing an apron and she's just pruning some flowers and she's like, "Well, hello. Can I help you with it? Find anything?"
We're supposed to meet somebody upstairs, I believe.
"Oh, yes. Alito is waiting for you. Please take the door down the hallway and the staircase will be up right above your left. Have a good time."
Do you have any bees?
Well, I don't collect any bees. I'm not a honey person, but we do have some bees that do fly outside once in a while, but I don't carry any bees inside.
Oh, okay.
Are
Thank you.
you
Have a nice
interested
day.
in some honey?
No,
Oh,
and the bees.
or oh, are you looking to purchase some bees then? I could refer you to someone if you need.
Can I purchase bees?
Yeah, there's a small hive and stuff like that. And locally, there's a beekeeper that you could purchase some bees from.
You can
And
have a
if it,
small home of bees.
and if a goblin could express emotion, the biggest smile and the biggest eyes would be right now, but he cannot. So he just says, "Calico, I can do that."
You can. It requires bees require a home to be stationary. I find that we are very mobile sometimes, and so if you were to do that, you would want to make sure that we find a way to, we can find a way to allow them to travel with you.
I have a new goal now. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure.
And I start going upstairs.
Quest for Robo started. Hunt for
Bees.
bees and where to keep them mobile. Yeah, yeah. There's some stuff kind of going in the background, like how that's gonna happen. But we'll see. But as you go up the stairs, it's second floor. There's a door. Then you kind of open it up, and it opens up to like a small lounge, little sitting area with a table, some chairs, a couch. The window kind of looks out to the street. Some curtains are kind of shut there. It's uh, it is lit. Like, there's some other windows on the sides and stuff like that, or from the ceiling, from the roof. And then there's a door that leads to another part of the apartment, so to speak. And sitting on the couch is this very well dressed, dark skinned human in this cape and having a, a chip kind of in his fingers. And then you see Pepper kind of fluttering by the table and sitting there and having conversation. It's like, oh, and as you walk into the friends, welcome. Goblin, it is so good to see you. Please come in. Talico. Talico Windpath, it is a pleasure to be in your acquaintance and in your presence again. I look forward to having this esteemed conversation with you. Please come in, my friends, and have a seat.
Hello. Hello.
Pepper's like,
Good to be here.
And I sit
Pepper,
down.
I wondered where you fluttered off to this morning.
"Oh, I had some stuff to do." And she kind of flies off to you, and she's already given you your hugs this morning and aroma scent as she does. And you do see a small vial next to Lido as clearly she gave him assent of in the meeting because that's what she kind of does. And she kind of sitting there listening, and Leto's like, "Well, it appears one of our esteemed colleagues is going to be slightly late. So we're going to start, and I presume he will be joining us on this quest when he can. But I have an important quest that only you two, or excuse me, the three of you, potentially four of you, can complete. It requires some subtleties that you've experienced in the past, and it will impact the natural one. So I know that you will want to help them out as much as possible. For you see, I've been informed that recently a lich alchemist is causing some issues in Schmaltmarsh lately. This lich could be the same alchemist as the ones you and the natural ones agreed with a long time ago. And well, you, we would like to figure out. That we would want to take care of him. But before we do that, we need to find his phylactery. So we need you to search for his phylactery. And that information we've been obtained a magical device from, and that we believe that this lich's phylactery is somewhere in the haunted house outside of town where you first encountered him, the old Malisker house, the one he built. So this amulet, as he kind of pulls out this amulet with a nice large gem, this this device actually is a magical detection device. It requires a little bit of oomph of magic, but it will detect any runes and or scribes of a phylactery or protection nature and necromancy nature. It's been attuned specifically for that. So we need you to take this to the haunted house, go through all the rooms and around, include the basement and the attic, and figure out where his phylactery is. Don't disturb it, don't destroy it, because if you do, he'll just make another one, or he'll know what we're doing. Just obtain the information of what it could be, bring that information back. We'll call the natural ones, and together you can take him out. What do you say? Yes, Goblin?
What is a phylactery?
Oh, a phylactery. So, a lich, my understanding is a lich can't die. It gives part of its soul and creates this little box and puts it in, and so that as part of becoming a lich, so that he can live forever. So if you kill him, he just reappears by his phylactery. He gets reconstituted or something like that, regrows. So you have to destroy the phylactery and the lich pretty much at the same time so that he can't come back to permanently take him out.
Oh, okay. You can do that.
So we
And
need to
I've
figure
been
out where the phylactery is first. So that is your job. And then when you come back, we'll get the natural ones together and we'll figure out what to do and take them all out. Sounds like a plan?
Yes.
it it does. He- I've been chasing this man down for a while.
Yes, he's been
I
elusive.
never thought he would be. Perhaps it's a double ploy to. I'd never think that he would have left his phylactery there in the last place that he died,
Huh?
or a recent place where, well, a place that he has died. As a lich, he could have died a million times now, and
Yes, but it
Do not
appears that
know.
he hid it somewhere in his house. I mean, would that not be, you know, feasible?
It,
Hence,
it's very feasible. That house is a haunted house for a reason.
yeah.
But
So,
Uh, Auto game question. Is this
yes,
the same house that we've been through?
yes, it
Oh,
is.
hell yeah.
And that
500
is
years
why
ago?
you have been requested to do this, because you've been through the house before.
Okay. All right. Cool, cool,
Do we
cool,
do
cool.
we so does Talico know if that house still has the same, because we ran into the vampire at the party.
Yes.
Do they still inhabit that house? Does Talico know if they do or
You
not?
think that she still owns the house, but
Okay.
she goes other places other than that house.
Okay.
So she still technically owns the house. So it's a matter of, is she there or not? Most likely not. She does travel different things, but, so, but yeah.
Okay, okay. Shall we get going then?
Oh, this should be fun. I've never been there, says Pepper.
The device, is that the bottle,
Oh
or what
no,
device is the magic detection?
the gem here, this amulet. He kind of pulls it out,
Oh.
and you see this silvery amulet metal, and there's a red gem, and you could see some glyphs and some magical runes on it. He's like, all right, how this works is you place it in your hand and you concentrate and you basically give it a little power boost, quote unquote. Mechanically, you use 3 actions and you use 1 cantrip, any cantrip, a magical spell, to basically infuse it with magic, and then it gives a radius burst out and helps detect any runes, protections, necromancy, things of that nature, and symbols.
What happens if I put a symbol on the amulet to track it?
Probably nothing.
And I'll take the amulet, and I did ask Leto that.
Oh
Like,
yes, yes,
that was like,
yes. Please take this is for you to use. We'll need it back at the end, but yes, yes.
and as I take it, I start whispering some things, and kind of a unique asymmetrical sigil of a maple leaf
Hmm,
appears on the back of the amulet and then disappears as as a magical sigil. But since I designed the sigil, I know what it is and I can track it down if I ever lose the amulet.
Oh, nice.
okay.
And that sigil is there
Try
for 1 month.
try to hide it now, Jay.
I don't need to hide it, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
No.
So yeah, so Lito's like, is there anything else you need or that I can help you with before you're on
do
your wonderful quest?
do the occupants of the house know that we're coming to the house?
Well, we don't know if there's actually any occupants, but if there were occupants, probably not. We do know from your intel the kibi underneath the rug by the back door is probably still there, but yeah, it you might have some encounters in the haunted house, I guess, unless you know, figure something out. But I really don't know. Something you can play with, I guess, or encounter. You've been there before, so no worries,
Yeah,
right?
it'll be fine. Everything will be fine.
Excellent, excellent. I know you can handle it. No problem at all.
Then.
So hopefully you'll be done by tonight. I'll be waiting for you up here, or actually, I'll meet you back at your inn. And we'll have a drink and some supper waiting for you. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Excellent,
Delightful.
excellent. Good hunting, treasure hunting, that is.
Oh,
And
will we get gold from this?
Oh, yes. Gold.
we
How
do
much?
have things to upkeep.
Oh, yes.
And
I
this is the
think,
first time that you see Goblin interested in money.
wow. Well, I think we could spare a few hundred gold if that's okay.
How many bees is that?
That is sufficient. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. Make sure
And with that,
Timon joins you at the house when he can.
yes, he should be able to locate us easily if
Oh,
needed.
he'll track you down, no problem at all. I know he had something took him off took a little bit longer than he expected. No worries at all.
Goodbye.
Good to see you again, Goblin.
See you tonight.
A pleasure, Talaco, and see you later, both. As he sits back and looks at this vial, and Pepper's like, "Oh yes, let's go."
Can I, as we're leaving, can I do a quick? So, if it's a, I want to see if I can identify if that is some sort of like antidote, disease, or like a disease or a poison. Just at glancing at the liquid, so I realize it's going to be a difficult at a glance.
I'm not even gonna make you roll. Pepper gave him an, a scent.
Oh, okay,
So yeah, you
yeah,
recognize the vial from something that Pepper would do. She gives vials to everyone. She's never given Leto a vial before, so she made
gotcha,
some musk and his scent and stuff like that, and presented it to him before you arrived.
gotcha.
And she was all happy, like, "Oh, that was yes." And she's in her
Well,
fluttery happiness and go luckiness.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, that's right. She does that. Like she gives everybody, yeah, okay, like
yep,
a perfume or
yep,
okay.
perfume is exactly cologne, perfume. So yeah. So it should take you
it's
maybe 2 or 3 hours to get to the house. So by
I,
walking, unless you take a steed.
I I'd say let's walk so we can kind of work out our plan. And also, Pepper wasn't with us whenever we went into the house, so
Yes.
we don't have to role play it all out, but we give a brief download, like a brief info dump to Pepper of
Okay.
here's what we did. And as Teleco, I I believe that we should probably start downstairs in his laboratory. The upstairs is probably still overgrown with, don't remember if it was carnivorous plants or
Uh-oh.
spiders. I think it was spiders that ate
Spiders.
one
Yes.
of my birds.
Yep. So it was
Uh
not the plants is somewhere else, but yeah, there was a lot of
oh, that's right.
spiders. Yep.
A lot of things like to eat my birds. That's really what it comes down to.
Yes, there was.
Yeah,
But I think that we should try to sneak in the back door and head down into the basement and start there. There was 50, 100, 150 years ago, there was a band of mercenaries down there that just needed a good explaining, physical explanation that they just needed to let us do what we needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And but that's my suggestion is that we start downstairs and then we can work our way up.
sounds like a plan. And as we are walking towards the house, I turn to Teleco and just say, Teleco, do you have a soul?
Yes, most living creatures do.
Do I have a soul?
That is a brilliant question, and unfortunately, one that can only be answered by either a high level divine magic user tapping into powers that they can tap into to recognize it, or if forbid that you ever pass or become deceased for some reason, I would then be able to find out. I like to assume that you do. Your fondness and caring of things is beyond that of what what other automatons and mechanicals like creatures have.
Oh,
But there are also things like liches that have souls, but are also against the natural order of things.
oh, okay, okay.
But
I
if you
don't.
do have a soul, it brings up a lot more questions than I think the answering that you do have a soul, such as where did it come from? Is it originally your soul? Is it another soul that has returned? How and this is all questions that go into how you were created, how you were born. Um, and even then, your parents may not have those answers either.
Goblin creates a new quest in his mind.
Nice. So as you're having these discussions as you walk, you can see it's midday and you see on the bluff the old house. Now the house has been it's been 100 years, so the decay and discrep is a little bit more visible. But strangely enough, not it's still probably well kept. It hasn't been too decayed for that since it's been 100 years. It's still looking, I mean, it still looks decayed, but you think it should be decayed more, but it hasn't. It's stood up to the test of time, strangely enough. But yeah, as you get closer, you kind of look around, there's no other individuals around or anything like that. And you make your way up to the back of the door and allow me to throw in a little roll 20 and you're going to be able to the layout. So you don't need to have any darkness or anything like that. So you are oh, let me get layers in. Okay, let's see. You got wait a minute. Come on. Come on. There you are. But
For those in chat, we have complete darkness for this map that we know really well.
really? Wow.
But I
Man.
have dark vision. Do I?
Well, let me figure this out. So, as the GM is playing with his fogs of war, which shouldn't be here. All right. Can you see it now?
No.
No.
Nope. Anything now?
Oh, yes, it is
Oh,
appearing
there.
now.
There it
We
is.
have the
All right. So, you have we got to bring you back. We got to bring you back down. Here's the other question. Do you have access to your characters or your tokens? Can you move your tokens? You should be
don't
able to.
see I don't see a
Uh,
token.
Oh,
I see a so we only have visibility. Oh, I found my token and I have control of it, but it is under the map.
it's under the map?
Yeah, so if I move it, it disappears. So right now I moved it by the back door. Okay, now I can see the map, but I only see my token when I grab it and move it. Otherwise, it's like I did a select all, like a large select, and found my token that way.
Yeah, so this is so I'm gonna so the do you see where I moved them down? So the back door is at the bottom.
Yes.
Okay.
I can tell where I moved it. I still can't actually see the token. I just have it selected right now.
Really?
Yep.
Mm,
A blue dot.
this is weird.
Yeah, that is all I see.
Huh. Well, and demonic lighting isn't on. How about now?
Mm-mm.
Anything now?
But still no visible tokens. Is the map on the map layer? Or is it on the token layer?
It's on the map layer.
Are the tokens on the map layer or are they on the token layer? Or the
They
player
should be
layer?
on the token. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, they're not. Okay, that would be why. Oh, right. How about now?
I blame Hawkmere. It's probably
Yep.
Hawkmere's fault.
It is the night of blaming Hawkmere. Still don't see the tokens. Robo, do you see them?
No. Nope.
Do you see where the ground floor is?
Yes, we see the map. Both the upstairs or what I think that's the upstairs. We see two levels on the of the building.
Yeah.
Okay, you do see the two layer. Okay. So I'm wondering if you're on the map level, which shouldn't be because as I'm looking at it, you are on the token level. You are the token layer. Hmm. Well, as we are looking at this, oh, I see you just put yourself in.
I can't see my character.
You can't see him?
No, I can see the token. It's just I think I'm just putting my
Wait,
token whatever, but I can't actually see that.
yeah, whenever you select it, we can see an outline of where the token's supposed to be, but it's just an empty box.
Well, that is just weird. That is just not supposed to be that way. I have no clue why that seems to be happening that way. But
We can see the map.
you
The
can see the
layout.
map.
Yeah.
All right, you
Yeah.
know what? We'll do a little combination. We'll move forward and do a little combination. We got a little technical errors. No worries. We'll just play with it. All right, so you're at the back door, at this back door right here.
Uh-huh.
What would you
Yep.
like to do?
Listen.
Mm-hmm.
First, there's I remember those windows in the back.
Yep.
So I'm going to have like tap the staff and have the my owl turn into a bird, into a real bird,
Mm-hmm.
and let it fly and just kind of fly by those windows and look in the windows to see if it sees anybody in the back, like in the kitchen area.
No. So most of the drapes are are shut, but there are holes, and some of the windows are broken, and you can look around. But no, there's no movement. There is darkness for the most part. But yeah, there's no. You don't see anything. He does not see anything.
Okay. Then with that, I say that we silently try to, as stealthily as possible, go inside.
All
Okay.
right.
And how do you want to get? You're at the back door. Are you going to try to open the back door, or how do you want to do that?
Yeah. Yeah, going to very quietly, like turn the knob as slowly as possible, trying to think of all the ways that are that we've seen stealthy people be able to sneak in to places.
The
Is the door
door.
locked? First and
The,
foremost, is the door
the door
locked?
is
Like,
locked. Yes, the door is locked.
okay. I just step back for a second and then I look back. Oh, right. This is just us. Do either of you have the know how to easily undo locks?
Did you look under the mat?
Sure.
I look under the mat.
Alika looks a little frustrated. He goes, like, I hope it's not actually under the mat.
And as Robo lifts up, there's an inlay of a key in the stove, and there's a key right there.
Oh, look at this. And I hand it to Talico.
This guy, this alchemist, is going to be the death of me before we even kill him again.
Hmm.
And with that, Talico slides the key in, gently turns it.
Yep. Door
Opens the
unlocks and opens up.
door, and then opens the door.
Yeah.
And do Pepper, do either of you, it's been a while. Do either of you have the ability to turn into other things, or is that just me?
No, not really.
Okay.
I can change my physical appearance to make it look like I have claws or cat eyes. But that is it.
Okay. Well, let me check then. And Jay, I will use my once per day, my focus point wild shape to turn into a pest form, which has a 10-minute duration.
Mm-hmm.
And I will go into being let's go with a rat.
Okay.
Turn into a rat and or an insect. I'm going to turn into an insect.
Okay.
And I'm going to go scampering. I'll say, all right, don't go too far away. If you do, take the door right there into the kitchen. It shouldn't be anybody in there. And I'm going to turn into pest form, and I'm going to go into first to that intersection.
Okay.
Yeah. To that intersection and then look down the hallway, make sure I don't see anybody.
Nope.
And then I'm gonna if the door is open or if it's like if I can slide under it as a bug, I'm going to do so.
It is cracked, like it's slightly
Okay.
ajar. So yeah, you're as a bug, you can fly right through it, no problem. And
Okay.
when you go in, there's no one there.
Okay. And then I will fly back.
Mhm.
I will mentally communicate with my owl. So I fly back, a little buzzy buzz in front of Goblin and Pepper, and then I will fly back in with the owl flying like and landing on the ground and then kind of gently tapping at the door. And then to open up the kitchen door and then flying and then we go into the kitchen.
Okay.
As you do all that, Goblin is just asking, Pepper, do you have a soul?
Yes, I believe I do. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do. At least I think I do.
Oh.
Why?
Um, I just recently learned that souls are a thing for a lot of beings, and now I'm kind of focusing on that a little bit.
Oh, I see.
Is that a rude question?
No, that's not a rude question.
Okay. Thank you for responding.
I'm glad.
And as I see the little buzz, I just go in.
Okay. And as you go in, yeah, there's a door to the left or to the right and yeah, you're no problem. This is the kitchen.
As a bug or my bird, are we able to open the door? Was it the door that we had to open to go downstairs? Am I reading the map correctly and
Yes.
remembering correctly? Okay.
Yep. So you go through the door and then you go downstairs.
Okay. Are we able to open that door? Or is it closed shut and requires opposable thumbs to open?
Yeah, a goblin would be able to open it. You not
Okay.
really can open it, but you can get underneath it, no problem. But
Yep.
goblin would be able to open it. Pepper would be able to open it, no problem. and it's unlocked. And as it kind of opens up, you hear that creaky noise that kind of opens up. And as you look, it now it's starting to get a little dark, but dark vision, no problem. I think because Goblin has dark vision, Calico's got light, low light, and then Pepper's got low light. So you're going to be able to, with light, no problem.
Is dark vision the same as low light vision?
It's close. It's a little bit different, but yeah, you have low light vision.
I got low light.
Okay, so you'll need a light source, and then you'll be able to see much further than anything. So yeah, no problem. And Pepper's like, okay, hits a little light spell and activates, and you're able to see. And as you kind of head down the stairs, you get into that cellar that you saw. And what would you like to do?
I seem to recall. Oh, I have the amulet,
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
and I'm in a bug form.
Yes, you are. Now, we can retrofact that you would have thought about this and given the
And
amulet
gave it to
to
me.
either Goblin or Pepper.
Yeah, I would have passed the amulet off before.
Yeah, you would have given
transforming.
it to Goblin. So, but can Goblin do spells?
No.
So then it would be Pepper. Pepper would be you'd give the amulet to Pepper.
Okay.
So Pepper has the amulet, and as you get down there, she concentrates for a second, and she's got her cantrip, and she focuses, and suddenly this red light emanates from it in a like a radius from where she's standing, and this kind of red light, and suddenly it hits the walls and it goes boom, boom, and you hear this as suddenly these sigils and runes in the cellar that you're at starts to illuminate brightly, as you can tell that there are runes and, like I said, sigils all on all the walls in this room. If you would
I,
like to make a religion or an arcane, you can.
let's go. I will do a religion check in my little buggy form for a grand total of 9.
Of 9.
This is how the dice are going to be. We can just role play all night.
Well, yeah, I think that's how we're gonna go tonight.
Yeah, I rolled an 8 on religion, so this is
Well,
fine.
Pepper rolled a 5 for 18. So
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
jeez.
And this is
Nice.
why she's with us.
yes.
Yes.
And she's kind of looking around. She's realizing she's like, that's weird. Those are protection sigils. Interesting. That's very interesting. This could be the spot. Maybe. I don't know. We have to check the rest of the house too. Is there any other place we need to go down here?
There's another room like directly adjacent to us, right?
Yep, there is a secret door that you remember that goes right. And because I'm having map issues, I'm not pulling up the second map. But yeah, it kind of comes down and it's the fireplace. So you know where the secret entrance is in the fireplace, and you can hit that, and the fireplace will open up to another room.
And Goblin tries to open the secret door.
And successfully, you kind of push on, you open the hits, and then kind of push and pull, and the fireplace moves, and you're able to go into this dark room. And it's very, very dark in here. There's the table, the long table, and there's a door to your left. You remember this is where some smugglers used to use as a base of common.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna fly into the darkness, so I have imprecise. Is that the terminology? I have the ability to both smell and hear
Hmm.
imprecisely within 30 feet to get an idea if things are in there. So I'm going to just, as a little bug, fly
Okay.
in, get an idea of where the table is, land on the middle of the table, and just sense for things that I can't see.
There, as you sense, your senses are coming up, and no, there's some like little bugs and stuff like that, but nothing that is creatures of disdain. There's like a tiny little spider with a cob because there's some cobwebs and stuff like that, but it's not anything that's out of the ordinary or concerning. There's no really active anything in the area.
Oh.
Um, um, Evelyn?
And
Yeah, go
the
ahead.
bird will fly over beside Pepper and like fly either beside her, around her, and kind
Mhm.
of gravitate towards Pepper.
Okay. Should I use this amulet again?
Yes, please.
She kind of concentrates for a second, pours a little bit of magic into it, and boom, this red glow kind of emanates from her, and it goes like 60 feet. But even though this place is within that 60 feet, this just emanates in a large circle of radius, and all of a sudden the walls, also sigils and runes on all these stone walls, start to illuminate and appear in different things. On the ceiling, it also starts to illuminate and appear, and on the ground.
Are those like protection sigils, or is it something else?
You're not sure. Probably it's it could be either based off the rolls. They're probably protection. There's something else, but yeah, it's one of those things
Okay.
where it's something about this area, these two rooms. There's definitely some manner of protection or sigils or something that this amulet is picking up.
Talico turns away from being turns transforms back into into
Mhm.
elf form. uh Albeit he may be a couple inches shorter now, just from shape shifting as much as he does. He doesn't remember how tall he
Yeah.
actually is.
Mm.
And as he comes like walking out of the secret door, just looking, he's like, I I wonder how much of this is because of the property owners versus the alchemist.
Hmm.
I Pepper,
No,
I heard you say that you think that they're protection sigils upstairs. Is that
I think so. I thought so. I mean,
so? It is also possible that the owners of this house also could just see and know that we're here.
possibly. But
I'm just gonna
I
like
need to study them a little bit more. Maybe if I see a few more different symbols, if there are any more symbols, I'd be able to ascertain that.
well, where was the alchemist lab from here?
It
Like
was
it was the
over.
opposite direction, right?
No, so yeah, so when you came in, you turned left, and there's two
Yeah.
doors that kind of go into that direction. The far door is where his lab was, and then there was another secret door that went into there.
So we've checked here. Oh, let's check behind the fireplace, the secret room
Yeah,
behind the
you're behind
fireplace.
you're in that secret room behind the fireplace.
Okay.
Yeah, you and that's it's got the sigils. And if you go to the next room with a door where there's that kind of where the alchemist is, Pepper kind of comes in, hits that, and sure enough, the walls and the floor sigils pop up.
The floor here, previously the floor didn't light up. It was
In the
the ceiling,
It was the
right?
ceiling and the floor in the other
Okay.
room. This room is the seat, just the floor and the walls.
I wonder why the ceiling isn't lighting up. Is it because there's earth above us instead of the house?
Not sure. It could be the where how the basement has been made, or yeah. or
Mhm.
damage.
Is it possible that the Phlegmactory is a whole house?
I But that would mean that his soul is floating around inside of this house somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna say that it's impossible. That's not a wait, what does hold on. Yeah, it's totally possible, but if it is, then his soul will run into his soul floating around somewhere. That's what I know about phylacteries. That's what Talico knows about phylacteries.
Huh.
Pepper, what do you think?
I think we need to check more rooms.
Okay.
But that's an
Let's go.
interesting theory. I like that theory. But let's check some more rooms to see if that theory is possible.
We
We
come
go to
across a
the
soul. I
different.
don't know what to do about it. Um, okay, let's go to the next room. I'm trying to sorry,
Yep. So there's another secret, and you check all these rooms, and yeah, the rooms, the floors are have symbols, and the walls have symbols. These runes and sigils. So the basement, you've realized that the basement, everything in the basement is sigiled and runes. There's runes all over the place in both locations.
okay. Can I start looking for hidden things through like in the alchemist lab? I'm going to start
Mhm.
looking for or
Okay.
the location formerly known as the alchemist lab. I'm going
Yep.
to start looking for secret stuff, secret doors, secret bricks, that sort of thing, and kind of get very tedious with this.
Okay. Give me give me a perception check.
Rolling, and then that is plus that would be a 38.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, there's
Ooh,
no secret places in here. And the places hasn't been visited in years or decades. Very, very like nothing's been here for decades
Okay.
in the basement.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So
go ahead. Go ahead, Gollum.
I was just gonna say that we probably should go to the next room and like do
So
the.
you've gone through all the rooms in the basement. So you've
Oh.
systematically gone through all the rooms in the basement. And
Yeah.
yeah, you've done the spell. Yeah, and there's sigils on the floor and on the walls. One or two were on the ceilings, but yeah, yeah, every place around here in the basement.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go back upstairs and start scanning the upstairs and try to get a feel for how different that is then.
Mm-hmm.
And just to confirm, we don't accidentally run into a floating soul anywhere,
Nope,
right?
nope,
Okay.
you do not. Who's
Not
heading
yet.
up the stairs
Not
first?
yet. Talico will.
Okay. Calico, I need you to make
Actually, he'll send his bird up
okay.
first,
All right, and then you follow up past
and then
him,
I
and then
follow.
okay.
Yep.
Calico, I need you to make a reflex saving throw, please.
Okay.
Here we
25.
go.
A 25?
Yep.
Just missed it.
I rolled a 9.
You just missed it. As you step and your foot suddenly just kind of like goes through this wooden plank, like the stairs are so old, and you just foot just kind of slams into it. But you realize that there was a kind of a trap that never went really off because it's so old
Oh.
and it wouldn't go off, but your foot went through the the wood and you take 5 points of damage, of piercing damage, as your foot kind of goes in and just gets nicked a little bit. And you're like, oh, okay. And you kind of pull it up.
Okay. I do just a quick glance over for wait, can I do a quick yes. I do a quick first aid, which is 2 actions,
Yep.
but, just to make sure I'm not poisoned or anything like that.
Yeah. You're fine. And as you move, if people can avoid, you know, moving that, stepping over that with no problem.
And all the stairs from then on, like, Talico is taking his staff and, like, pushing it, like, making sure the stairs can take the weight before he actually steps on them after that.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, there's no problem. Like I said, you make your way up. So no issues after that.
Okay.
Are you
Uh,
okay, Teleco?
yeah, there was just that was a geez, 100 years ago, that was a trap stair that we avoided and did not set off, and, likely because Brynn may have noticed it, in the past, but yeah, that's, I just uncovered it the hard way, unfortunately. Traps don't just disappear because nobody's around.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
So
And
we should be aware of that throughout this house, knowing the owner and the former occupants, other things may be trapped as well.
Okay. So I have this feat or feature that is called vigilant senses. So through your adventuring, you develop keen awareness and attention to detail. Can I use that to just keep an eye on traps and
yep.
things on the
Oh yeah.
floor or
Yeah.
anywhere?
We'll
Okay.
say that. Mhm. And as you get up the stairs into that first room, suddenly a letter of stationery pops up in front of Pepper, which you know is a Vero. And the pops up, and she kind of tears off the seal, and it reads, because I don't have it in front of me, but it says, "Dearest Pepper, is everyone all right? Although the group link we felt Teleco being hurt, a very unpleasant sensation, as you know. Please respond at your earliest convenience. Brynn, Glastoc, and I are concerned." Oh, that was the first one. Then the second one goes, "Bing. At your earliest convenience, Brynn, Glastoc, and I are concerned for your well-being. Yours, Aviro." And she's like, and she writes something and sends back, "We're all right. Everything. We're just exploring a house at a quest." And yeah,
Give my regards to Aviro, please,
uh,
Pepper.
oh, yes, I will. Mhm.
Draw the sigils and ask him what these are.
Oh, shh.
Oh, I can't trust this. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work very well, but I can try. And she kind of, but I don't have, I don't
Oh,
have my sending stuff with me. Because
Oh,
I can mentally send him, I can message him, but I can't. I don't have the paper with me.
I'm gonna. We should make a note to ask Avero to update the messaging papers to send images.
Yes, that would be good. Ooh.
it's gonna make a social media out of this.
And
And
then we need to be able to like or dislike the images.
mhm.
A
um,
meter.
should I test in this room too?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
And she concentrates and in this room, and she's standing in the middle of the doorway between the kitchen and this room because she's kind of emanating both of them. And what you see is that there are large amounts and very large sigils of protection along the exterior of the walls in both the kitchen and this room. And on the interior, there are additional sigils, but they're not as bright. And runes on all the other walls, ceiling, and floor too in these rooms. But they're not as bright, they're not as strong, and there's not as many of them. But the exterior walls have a lot. And you can give me a religion or alchemy roll now if you would like.
Alchemy. Go
Or
ahead.
excuse me, arcane.
Arcana. Good.
Arcana,
Yeah.
excuse me, arcana.
Arcana is 0. My religion is +2. Here we go. Dirty 20.
Nice.
Ooh.
18 here, but we'll take the dirty 20.
Okay. Well, I rolled a nat 20
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice.
for a 38. So, or no, I'm sorry, a 33. My mistake. A 33 on that. So she's looking at this going, oh, I think you're right. I think it's very possible. Yes, I think it might be the whole house. It could be. But we have to check every room. We've got to check all the walls. We got to go to the rooms. Come on. I think that little fucker made the whole house his factory.
Robo Goblin is actually surprised because he just said that. But, wow.
By the way, I rolled a religion check to understand, or sorry, an arcana check to understand phylacteries, and I got an 8 earlier for what Talico knew about phylacteries. So whenever I agreed to that, I just want to point out that it was me trying to go, sure, it sounds plausible.
Amazing.
Oh,
10 out of
okay.
10.
So yeah, for levity's sake, where you just go from room to room in the ground level. And Goblin, as we're walking around, I need you to give me a reflex saving throw, please.
Saving wait. No, not that. 39.
Okay, you made it. As you dodge out of the way, as part of the ceiling kind of breaks and hits down on you. And it just kind of scrapes up against you, but you take 1 point of damage as this thing just kind of like bumps against you. Even though you made it, you kind of bumped into something. You took 1 point of damage. Superficial.
Oh,
But yeah, as you're just kind of like, this house is old, is definitely coming apart. Calico, you remember as you're making your way through the first floor and on the ground floor, I should say, there is that statue that's there.
oh yeah.
That
Hold on.
long creature. It looks like a manicore, and it
Yes.
looks like the front door, and it's a stuffed manicore.
I remember saying something that like, why did you put it here, Jay?
I totally thought it
now-
was going to come alive and attack us. And
Yep,
I still
me
think
too.
that.
I
But
still
Calico, knowing that this thing did not attack us last time,
Because it burned you
Calico,
last time.
that's what it did.
It
Yeah,
spread,
because
it gets spread out fire and burns you.
it did that, yeah.
Calico is going to go and like inspect it and make sure that it's still stuffed, just one out of paranoia. But then he's going to try to like flash his hand in front of it to see if it activates and if the fire is still active.
I'm not going to make you roll a perception check because what you did. And as your hand goes, something it flames out.
And I look at where the flames went, and it was just like,
Covers the
Probably
door,
should-
the bottom of the
prob-
stairways, and the front door as this cone of flames kind of come out.
probably should have checked to see how often people have came in before I burned everything. But hey, the trap here still works, so we'll want to go over it and avoid it detecting us.
And Pepper
Okay.
does in each of the, what you're realizing in each of the rooms, the walls have sigils and runes on them, but all the exteriors are extremely stronger, brighter, and more of them on the ground floor.
Mm.
And as you make your way past the after it went off, you're past your trap, you go upstairs. It looks like
Yeah.
it takes um a recharge, so you get past it, no problem. As you make your way up the stairs, remember there's a big hole in the ceiling. As you're
Oh yeah.
concentrating on
Yep.
that and looking at that, there's nothing moving up there for right now. And you're concentrating as you're moving in the halls and going to the different rooms. And as you're doing this, and as you're checking all the rooms and kind of going through, each of the rooms has the runes going. Again, all the interior walls have a good amount of runes, but it's the exterior walls that have like this stronger sigils and brighter things. But as you're
But the
leaving
roof
one of
still has the hole.
yeah, oh, it still has the hole that you fell through. Yeah, it still has a hole, and it's actually slightly bigger. But as you're making down the hall, I need everyone to give me a will saving throw, please.
What did Will they ever do to you?
Yes. What did Will ever do to you?
28.
Nice.
29.
Ooh.
We are
And
wise.
and Pepper got a 31.
Show off.
So as
She-
everyone as everyone suddenly this haunting feeling, this chilling effect. So instead of taking full damage, you take half damage. So you took 2 points of psychic damage as suddenly the feeling of just this haunt of cold and just scary screams echoes through the house.
Arcana check to see if I think, or religion check to, or occult. What can I do to see if that might, if I think that's our vampire host returning?
No, actually, your religious check's gonna be there. So it is a haunt. So this house has haunts. So they're like spiritual
Hmm.
traps. Is pretty much what it is. That runs through the house.
This is the monster house.
It's
Mhm.
legitimately haunted now. Great.
Oh, it's always been
Yeah.
legitimately haunted. So then,
Vampires inhabiting it with spiritual traps. That's not haunted. That's vampires. This is haunted.
This is haunted.
This
So-
is haunted.
suddenly, another letter of stationery spings in front of Pepper, and then another one, and then another one, and she's like, "Oh, Aviro," and she's, and she kind of opens it up, and she reads. It says, "Miss Pepper, we now fear that you and Goblin are damaged as well. You require assistance or aid, not that we can do anything. As I am not currently in the position of a long distance mass teleportation spell, but I am told that people like it when verbal concern, next one, is shown. Brynn says I need to be better at empathy. We do care about you all. Mistra is watching over you. Yours true, Aviro." And she's just like, "Oh, he just cares."
Oh.
I'm gonna use the heart bond ability to just send a message to Brynn. And just be like, we're okay. Uh let let Avero know that we're watching over Pepper. She'll be fine. We're just, the haunted house is really haunted now.
And so, yeah, so they're like, you get the, yep. So, so as you're going through the second floor, like I said, you are in the second floor, and all the rooms have these runes. All the rooms have these the exterior walls have it. So what's left is the attic.
Stupid attic. All right. So last time there was actually a hole in the roof of the attic as
Mm,
well.
yes.
Um, so I oh, my bird is so slow now. All right, let's just head up to the attic. I was gonna be like, I can send the bird down to see if that hole is still there and investigate
Yep.
what's in there.
There is a hole still. When you're coming
Um,
in, you can see that there's still a hole in the roof. Yeah.
okay. I'm gonna send the bird. Yeah, let's go ahead and send the bird. I'm gonna open a nearby window.
Hmm.
Actually, are the windows locked?
No, some of them are broken, but yeah, you'll be able to open them up and stuff like
Okay.
that. What I will say is when the bird goes over, it still has a web. There's like this webbing on the
Okay.
inside of this hole.
Okay. Yeah. And the bird comes back to the window, once back in.
Hmm.
Uh I will turn it from bird form back into its statuary version on top of the staff.
Okay.
Because three birds eventually they're gonna stop coming to my summons. So uh
And Pepper's like, wait, right here. And as you're on the second floor, in this area right here, let me get as you're in this area right here, because the
mhm.
the access to the attic is here, but it's pretty closed up. It's very, very
Oh.
hard to get through it. But you know there's that
Oh.
hole right here?
Mhm.
Pepper just flies
Wait,
up to where that hole is, concentrates, and lets the emanation go up into the ceiling, into the attic where she's at. And it's like, and the floors and everything else. And as the lemon or the illumination goes up, you just hear Pepper go, "Oh shit!"
but yeah, so oh yeah, sorry. The spiders are still up there? Those spiders
As
up there, aren't there?
several pairs of eyes, three different groups of pairs of eyes, as well as dozens upon dozens upon dozens of eight beady, small little eyes start to illuminate as the majority of the attic is now all these little pin eyes looking at her. I need you to roll initiative.
How big is the hole?
It's probably 10 feet wide by 15 feet wide. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a good big hole. And
Oh,
we're gonna roll initiative.
burn it all. Burn it all.
We can't destroy the house if it's the phylactery, though. Otherwise, I'm 100% down.
That's
True, but you can get out.
There.
okay. 29.
Ooh, nice.
18.
Ooh,
I,
stuff
I
here.
I still have a +0 to my initiative. I am not fast.
So Talico, you got an 18,
Yep.
and uh 23. And Goblin, what did you get again?
29.
Nice. And let's see.
Oh,
The spiders. Bum, 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 bum. Dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun.
oh.
They got an 8. Okay, that works perfectly. Um, so that leaves one other thing, and that is Goblin. What would you like to do as you just heard Pepper go, "Oh shit."
Uh, First I check if Pepper is okay.
She is okay right now, yes.
Okay. Then I'll just say to everybody, I think it's time to go. And oh man, let's try this. Let's try this. If I see like a big spider,
Mm-hmm.
I'll just gonna open my face and like a cannon comes out of me and I do energy beam on that spider.
Okay. So you're pretty much holding your action until something comes right there. Got it. Which I'm gonna say yes. Something is looming. A humanoid form is looming over Pepper, and you can take your shot. So go for it.
Okay. I'll take my shot on that. Uh +4, so I just roll. Okay. That's +4. 23 to hit.
A 23 hits, definitely.
Hell yeah. It's just a D4, but it's fine. 4 +4. 8 fire damage to that thing.
8 fire damage. That's it.
Yep. Yep. And what's that in action? Now I'll just shoot an arrow at it.
Okay.
Oh wait, that's an action.
Yep.
Don't have a set in action.
Okay.
Yeah, that's everything I can do.
Okay. So suddenly it goes past Pepper and it hits this creature as it come down as it's tightly uh, claw hand starts to try to hit Pepper but misses Pepper as it, like I said, you hit it and kind of put it off balance as it's at the top of this hanging and it misses Pepper. At which point Pepper just flies down and she's like, which way? Which way? Which way? Which way are we going? Which way?
Back door.
And she just starts flying full speed towards the back door. And she's pretty much almost there. Which brings us to Calico.
Okay. I am going to where the humanoid figure that we saw leaning over that Goblin Axe had hit.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to cast Cinder Swarm. So I hold out the staff, and
Mhm.
out of the tip of the staff, underneath the owl, a whole bunch of fireflies just come flying out.
Ooh.
Uh, and so they swarm a 5 foot they swarm an aura with a 5 foot emanation around it.
Okay.
And the target, which is the humanoid figures, and any enemies that are in the aura, so within 5 feet of it,
Mm-hmm.
are subject to the effects. The effects is that the flurry of fireflies deal 3d6 fire damage
Okay.
and can dazzle or blind depending upon the fort save. So the creature needs to make a saving throw.
Okay. All right. It
DC
is
26.
it takes you said a fort save?
Fort save, yes, sir.
Okay. And it got a dirty 20.
Okay. So that fails
Mm-hmm.
by 5 or more, so that's a critical failure.
It's
Um
10 or more for critical failures.
Oh,
I thought.
sorry.
Yep.
Yes, 10 or more. Okay,
Yep.
so it's a normal failure.
Mm-hmm.
So the creature takes full damage and is blinded for 1 round.
Okay. Yeah, it just kind of
Uh,
sits up there and it's not gonna be able to do anything. How much you take it takes 3d6
8
points of damage.
so 8 points of fire damage.
Okay.
And then are there any other spiders immediately adjacent to it?
Not yet, but there
Okay.
will be.
Okay.
So at which point, so and then do you run or do you
That was 2 actions.
okay.
And then for my third action, I will use 1 action of movement to start
Okay.
to move.
So
Yep.
basically, because of what you did and how you're going to be able to get out before they get you. But what you see is suddenly this creature is blinded back and kind of is sitting there as the fairy fire. And over one where the hole is, one part of the hole, you just see the swarm of spiders just come out of the hole on the ceiling and start coming down. Another swarm of spiders hitting the area that where those fireflies are. So suddenly a whole bunch of them are dropping to the ground as well, but some of them are making their way. And they're just these two huge lines of spiders that are coming down. But because of everything, the creature is blinded and everything else, you are going to be able to get out of the house no problem. And you shut the
Okay.
door behind you?
Oh, big time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And lock it and
Okay.
put the key back.
And I'll be honest with you.
Talico is taking the time to leave it as he left it, despite all the other things that we did in there.
Yep.
And then get out.
You just hear the noises and stuff like that. They're not following you outside the house. But they're just, it's just kind of, you hear things dropped and stuff like that. And you hear the little pattering of feet of like hundreds of little feet. Basically, it's like 5 swarms of spiders in a row. And it's just this train of swarm of spiders that are just kind of coming out. And they're 2 different ones. And so that's how many spiders are up in this attic. But yeah, you get going, you're on your way, and yeah, you're heading back to Schmaltmarsh to meet up
Can we
with.
just burn it all? Can we just burn that house down?
Not yet.
Well, not yet, because Goblin, you are smart. I'm convinced that entire house is its phylactery. So to be able to destroy it, we have to destroy the house to destroy the phylactery to be able to hurt the lich.
Oh. Imagine loving a house so much that you actually want to live there forever.
Well, he built it.
With your soul.
He built that house back 150 years ago.
Yeah, he built it, and then legally it is owned by, and I rattle off the vampires. Like last I checked on the property records, it is officially owned by blah blah blah. But 100 years ago, she was still letting him live in the basement and do work. But he was an ancient. I mean, you were there, Goblin. But Pepper, like he was ancient at that point and died.
He was
but
a
clearly,
skeleton at that time. He was not a full lich. Because you
yeah.
killed
Oh.
him, and he kind of reformed a little bit because he was a partial lich. So then after you killed him, he finally became fully liched.
Damn it, Hotmere.
So there's a hole in the roof, so we can set the roof on fire and let it burn.
There's a lot. It's gonna take a lot to. A few fireballs might do it.
We're gonna need a lot of fire. Yeah.
Too bad Aviro doesn't have fireball.
That it's interesting that fire seems to be part of nature. I'm sure we can figure something out given time and research.
And so as you're having these conversations on the way back.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And you're on your way back to the inn. You meet up at the inn, and you know that Lido has a special room set aside in the back to meet up with you. And as you make your way back into Schmaltmarsh, you get through the guards, you get into the inn, you walk in, bustling, and the door opens, and there's a plate of food with ale and everything else. And Lido's just with his feet kicked up and going, "Oh, my friends, welcome! It is so good to see you. You survived, and it doesn't look like you're injured at all. Well done. Well done. I presume you were able to figure everything out?"
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. And you notice
would have been easier if we could have just destroyed it.
Yeah. Well, what did you find out?
Talico looks at Pepper and then looks at Lido and We believe that the entire house is the phylactery,
Well, shit. Wow.
and there's still all sorts of spiders and a humanoid spider, maybe another ghost or something. Like there's something else in that in that attic with all those spiders that's friendly with the spiders. And those spiders are not friendly. And
No.
they've been around for 100 years being pissed off
Well,
at
it's
us.
probably been, you know, died, come back, died,
Great,
reborn,
undead
given.
spiders,
Well,
whatever
maybe
you
that's
think they
undead. Who
are.
knows if they're undead?
Oh, that's
So who
horrible.
owns the house again? Do we know?
I want to go check the records. I know who owned it. Oh geez, about 25, 30 years ago, but I don't know if she still owns the house or
I think
not.
she does. Is she going to be pissed if we burn her house down?
Oh yes, absolutely. It's one of her
Oh,
vacation, like it's one of her Heidi homes. So we'll need to let her know in advance. Otherwise she could burn the entire most of the city down.
well,
I
I think we're coming up with a plan. We just need to invite the natural ones, and I think we need to have a powwow on exactly what we should do. But excellent work. Excellent work. This is very good. And then all of a sudden, you hear stepping out from the darkness of a room with a door. There's a door kind of open. The door was kind of open, but was dark in there. You hear a voice that says, "Excellent. My master has something to destroy. Has something that can destroy that house from within. All we need is the natural one's strength to complete the task of destroying the lich. What is the old saying? The enemy of my enemy is my friend." As a black scaled dragon-born paladin, Rocky's paladin steps out
I
and
should have
says,
never.
"I think we can work together."
Damn
And
it.
that is where we're going to end our first spinoff.
Not cool, Jay. Not cool.
Thank you,
Yay!
everyone, for joining
Yay!
us. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Joshua, your face said it all.
Come to a fun little spin-off, he says.
Yeah. Not cool, Jay.
So
Not cool.
he's got the it so happens that the black scale dragonborn, Rocky's lieutenant, has the location of where the lich is, has some ideas on it. Gotta maybe work together to make it happen because maybe Rocky wants the lich dead too.
I mean, that alchemist is just a plaything to Rocky in the end. So
But I think that will be the next large scale guest star event where we get everyone together to plan out how to take out a lich and a phylactery house. Thank you everyone for joining us. I greatly appreciate. I hope you enjoyed this little fun one shot. Let's go around. Please introduce your. Please tell us where we can find you and how are you doing, Robo? Thank you for being here. It is so good to have you. How are you doing, and where can we find you?
Uh, Not good, Jay. Not good. Kind of pissed at that, but no. No, this was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for inviting me. I love playing with y'all. And you can find me everywhere at TTRP Gifts, mostly at Blue Sky because that's the one I usually use the most. But thank you so much for being here. And I really, really, really missed playing with Goblin Axe.
We miss you too. We miss you too, definitely. It is so fun to have you back, and we look forward to having you back again when we can figure out all the schedules and stuff like that. So thank you so much for being here.
No, thank you, thank you, thank you, and Joshua. Always a pleasure playing with you.
Joshua, how are you doing, and where can we find you?
I'm I'm doing good. I feel betrayed that you would do this to your guest stars, but also it's totally in J fashion. So Uh, I love it. No, I'm doing well. I am Gen 2 Penguin here on Twitch. I do horror streams, so going to be doing some fun stuff throughout the month of October. Um, and then I can be found on other places as either JRailTech or as Gen 2 Penguin because I can't claim my own name half the time, which is really weird. Um, but yeah, super happy to be here. Always a blast to play, and Robo, always a wonderful time. I'm glad we were able to create a couple of new quests, like finding a mobile bee center.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, that's more challenging, I feel like, than taking on a lich. It's fine though. We'll figure it out.
Yes, the side quests for let's find some bees. Thank you, Joshua, for being here. It's always a pleasure to have you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I'm Jay, also known as Neopet3 on most of the socials, and according to my guest players, the Evil GM, and some of my other players. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching us. If you like what you're seeing, please support us. Follow us. We've got some more stuff coming down the pipeline. We've got our natural ones, which we will be next Wednesday. Our natural ones will be returning with our latest guest player, Ryan. And then from there, we are in the works. We've got a Hunter team beta game is in pre-production. We've got a few episodes. We are looking at giving you a little bit of a teaser this around Halloween so we can, but it will be looking at late in December or January. We're going to be streaming all those episodes. So yeah, we're very happy about getting that stuff taken care of, and we've got a few other things that we're kind of working on. So thank you so much, and again, thank you everyone for being here, and just again to my wonderful guest players that thank you for helping tell the story that we always like to be in, and thank you so much for taking the time to be us. We miss you so much. We loved having you. So, and with that, just want to say our finally, please be kind and don't be a jerk, and have a great night. So take care. See ya.